Okay, now we're going to talk about finding slope. So we kind of talked about lines and stuff, and so lines have what we call slope. Okay, and it's the change in y over the change in x. Okay, and so you've probably heard of m. Okay, and so we call that rise over one, or the change in y over the change in x. This little symbol is delta. Okay. And then this is the formula, so you should write this down in your formula sheet, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so to find slope, we do change in y over change in x. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the slope of these lines, okay, by using the formula. So anytime we see 2 points, okay, we're going to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so again, our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and we're going to put them in the formula. So y2, -5 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, all right, so we're going to subtract. -5 minus 9 is -14 over 3 minus -6, so that becomes plus positive, and we get that would be 9. So -14 over 9 is my slope. So this is finding slope given 2 points. Okay. Okay. Now we can find slope given standard form. Okay. So to do that, we would need to solve for y. So that's what we're going to do here. So to solve for y, I'm going to get everything away from the y. So I'm going to circle y here. I'm going to get everything away from y. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So I get -4y equals -3x plus 12. Divide everything by -4. And so I get y equals 3/4 x minus 3. All right. So this is in y equals mx plus b format. Now we haven't really talked about that yet, but m stands for the slope. So I find the m spot. So 3/4 is my slope. Okay. All right. There we go. Find the slope of the line of y equals 3. So if you go back to notes from 2-1, we talked about if something's with y, it's a hoy. Hoys are horizontal and they have a 0 slope. So the answer to this is the slope is 0. So you can either write 0 or just write 0, or you can say like 0 slope. Okay. Now if we have x equals, okay, that's a vux. Okay, it's a vertical line. It has an undefined slope because it has an x equation. So we would just say this has an undefined slope. Okay, all right. So another one, find the slope of the graph 3x plus 4y equals 9. So again, this is standard form, so we're going to have to solve. So we're going to isolate y. So get y by itself, so subtract 3x. So I get 4y equals -3x plus 9. Divide by 4. So y equals -3/4 x plus 9/4. And this time our slope is -3/4. Okay? This is just more explanation of horizontal and vertical lines. Okay? All right, so we're going to graph some lines. Okay? So we want to graph a line that's passing through this point and has this slope. So we start with our point and then we use our slope to move, okay? So remember, slope equals rise over run. So we rise before we run. Now, if it's negative, I always say we fall before we crawl, okay? Anytime we rise and we run, I always go up, then I always do right. And if I'm going to fall, I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to go right. Okay, so up and right, positive, positive, down and right, negative, then positive. Okay, so left is negative, but as you see, I always go right. Okay, here we go. Graph a line that passes through -3, -2. So first we're going to graph -3, -2. So that means -3 in the x direction, 2 in the y direction. Then I'm going to go up 1 and then right 2. Okay, now you can do that again. Up 1, right 2. And then I also say, let's do it the opposite way. Down 1 and left 2. Okay, then we're going to draw a line. There we go. All right, B, graph a line that passes through -4, 1, -4, 1. It has slope of -2, 3. So I give the negative to the top, okay? Just makes it easier. So I'm going to fall, go down 2, and then right 3. 1, 2, 3. And draw my line. Okay? So this would be a good place for you to like pause, try it by yourself, okay? So here we go. Graph 0, -4. So 0, -4. And 2/3. So this is positive. So up 2 over 1, 2, 3. And then we went up 2. I didn't do in the last one, but up 2, right 3. So then go down 2 and left 3. So this will help us when we start doing systems. We have do more than 2 points. So 3, 1. So we're going to graph first. So over 3, up 1. Okay. That's the 0.31. Then it has slope of -4. Okay. I don't have a denominator here. So anytime it's just a whole number, I'm going to give the number a 1 on the bottom. Okay. I'm still going to keep the negative up top. Okay. But I'm going to put a 1 on the bottom to make it a fraction. I'm going to go down 4, right 1. So remember, we're going to fall before I crawl. And I'm always going to go right. Okay. When I run. Okay. So I went down 4, right 1. Then I'm going to go opposite, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and left 1. Okay? All right, so that's graphing. Okay, so you need to be able to determine positive, negative, 0, and undefined. So I always say we read from left to right. Okay, so here's my little man. Hello. Little man starts on the left. Okay, it can be a woman. Whatever. Goes up the hill. Okay, my little man or woman, whichever, goes down the hill. Okay, so positive, negative. Now, my person walks straight. Okay, so 0 slope. If my person tries to walk, they die. Undefined. They go into the undefined. Ooh. Okay, so that's how I remember those. So positive, negative, 0, undefined. Okay, another thing about lines. Lines can be parallel and lines can be perpendicular. So parallel lines have the same slope, okay? So 2 lines have to be non-vertical in order to be parallel, okay? And parallel lines will never touch, so that's another thing. So they'll never touch, okay? That's important. All right, so here we go. Same slope, never touch. We're going to see if we can identify parallel lines by their slopes. They're in the same slope. So is the line passing through -1, 2 parallel to the line passing through 4, 7? So we're going to find the slopes of these, okay? So I'm going to find this slope and then that slope. So here we go. 5 minus 2 over 3 minus -1. That gives me 3 over 4. And then I get 10 minus 7 over 8 minus 4. So I get 3 over 4. 3 over 4, 3 over 4, same slope, so yes, lines are parallel, okay? Now, perpendicular lines have what we call an opposite reciprocal slope, okay? So, opposite reciprocal looks like 2/3, and its opposite reciprocal would be -3/2, okay? And if you multiply those two, you get -1, okay? And that's what it says there, that the product is -1 of opposite reciprocal. A line with zero slope is perpendicular to a line with undefined slope, okay? So perpendicular to undefined. All right, so let's do an example. Are the lines of these equations perpendicular? So if these are perpendicular, their slopes are going to be opposite reciprocals. Okay, so we're going to have to solve for y. So 5y equals -3x plus 6. So y equals -3/5 x plus 6/5. So we solved that one. So this slope over here is -3/5, okay, because it's in the m spot. Okay, this slope, 5x minus 3y equals 2. Solve for y. Y equals 5 over 3, x minus 2/3. So this slope is 5 over 3. So opposite, flipped, reciprocal. Another way we can check is we can do 3/5 times 5/3. We multiply, we get -15 over 15, and that is exactly -1. Okay? All right, now we're going to determine whether these lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. And this is something you'll do on your MyLabs. So in order to determine that, you have to find the slope, then see if they're parallel by the same slope, perpendicular by opposite reciprocal, or neither by, they're just random numbers. All right, so we're going to solve for y here. So -y equals -4x plus 2, divide by -1. So y equals 4x minus 2. So my slope here is 4, so we're always comparing slopes, okay? -4y equals -x minus 8, divide by -4. So y equals 1/4 x plus 2. Okay, so these are really close. So I've got 4 and 1/4. But even though they're reciprocals, they're not opposites. One's not positive, one's not negative. So this is neither. Okay? All right, let's do this one. So my y is already, or my x already moved. So just divide by 2. So I get 3/2 x minus 3. And so I get 3y equals -2x minus 6. So y equals -2/3 x minus 2. So my slope here is 3/2, and my slope here is -2/3. So reciprocals, opposite, so perpendicular. All right, this one, here we go. -5y equals -2x plus 8, divide by -5. Y equals 2/5 x minus 8/5, so m is 2/5. This one, -5y equals -2, oh, -2x plus 8, divided by -5. Y equals 2/5 x minus 8/5. Okay, these are parallel. Okay, actually, these are the same line. Okay, all right, let's do another one. So, 2y equals -x plus 7. Y equals -1/2 x plus 7/2. This one, I gotta move that one over there. So y equals 2x plus 4. These are going to be perpendicular. Okay. All right, word problem. A couple word problems, and we'll be done. Find the average rate of change per year from 2015 to 2017 if there are approximately 90 million internet subscribers in 2015. Okay, so they gave us that we have 90 million subscribers in 2015. Now, our x-axis, and we have to be careful, is actually our years. Okay, so in 2015, we had 90 million subscribers. And if we look here in 2017, we had 95 million subscribers. Okay, rate of change is just slope. Okay, so x1, y1, x2, y2. So 95 minus 90 over 2017 minus 2015, that gives me 5 over 2, okay? So my average rate of change is 2.25 million subscribers per year, okay? That's it for that one. All right, in 2011, 241 million compact discs were sold in the United States. In 2016, 99 million CDs were sold. Find the average rate of change of CDs sold per year to the nearest million. Okay, so again, in 2011, 241 million were sold, and in 2016, 99 million were sold. So average rate of change, x1, y1, x2, y2, 99 minus 241 over 216 minus 2011. So if I do 99 minus 241, I get negative 142. And this is showing a decrease, which makes sense because, CDs, they start going out of style over 5. So you get negative 142 divided by 5. So negative 28.4 million CDs per year. Okay? And the negative is important because it was going down. And that's it for 2.2.